This is the Business Owners IT Podcast with Anthony Gerasch and Ryan Carter, where tomorrow's technology meets today's conversations.
Hi, I'm Tony Gerasch.
And I'm Ryan Carter, and this is the Business Owners IT Podcast.
A podcast where we discuss tips, tricks, and solutions for business owners involving all things tech.
All right, let's talk about the beast that Microsoft 365 has become, Tony. Management of this is, the overhead is getting quite a bit, right?
Yeah, so... Yeah, the Microsoft 365 tenant that, everybody has if they use Microsoft Office 365 or Microsoft 365 E3, whatever, Business Premium. Microsoft is becoming more and more secure than they ever have been. And as a result of that, the managing of the Microsoft 365 tenants is becoming very labor intense. And trying to keep up with their baselines is tough.
Yeah, and you got conditional access policies.
Yes.
Your Intune baselines. You got your Intune compliance policies. And you got multi-factor authentication to worry about. Then, maybe single sign-on. And then just the users themselves. And then shared mailboxes. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah. And then also all the apps you can add, right? Like, I go and I look and I'm like, sometimes I'm wondering, like, somewhere we need to document apps because there's all these apps that we see that are doing something, but it's hard to figure out what they do.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So sometimes I'm like, okay, what does this app do? Why is it even in here? Like, we've deleted some, I think, that we didn't know what they did.
Well, yeah, and we don't allow the employees now to add apps without getting approval,
right?
Because it became a little burdensome.
Yeah, so I think, going forward, we're going to have to look at a solution that to help us manage those baselines and help us be able to keep our customers secure across our entire base.
Yeah, and then we've talked about this before, is insurance is asking for this one too. What is your secure score?
Yes, that's another thing, right? So if you went to your Microsoft 365 Admin Center, you could figure out what your secure score is. And, inherently, most of the time when we look at them, the secure score is low. I mean, I think I heard Ryan say you'd like it to be like 70% or better.
Yeah, 70 to 80%.
70 to 80%. So basically, that secure score is how Microsoft is gauging how secure you are. And recently, I was in a seminar with Pax8, who's our vendor, and there's something going on with secure score and us. Like they're going to demand that either us or our clients have to have a certain secure score.
Yeah. So our partner center has a secure score itself on how we manage that, and also manage our clients, which is going to be an overall look, from my understanding, of the our client's secure score too. So yeah, that's our goal, is to get everybody up.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's some people that have, left Microsoft that are developing some cool stuff that I think that to help with this, and I think we're going to be looking at these vendors and see if we can leverage them to make us do a better job.
Yeah, well, we can look at it one way too. Is I have an employee. Well, I've got a few now that are Microsoft 365 certified.
Yeah.
When the one gentleman got certified, I said, "Hey, let's do this together. I want to get secure scores up. I want to get these policies done. I want to get Defender for Business on all the computers, this and that." And we started working on it together. And we had a twice a week cadence where we're working on an hour together, and we just kept unraveling more and more and more. So that's why, we're going to look for a little bit of help, for someone to help get these secure scores up and just help us manage from a single pane of glass all of our clients. And it's just going to be better for everybody in the end. Yeah.
And I think that we need to head in that direction because it's the Microsoft 365 is becoming a pivot point, or a thing that attackers like to hack. Right? They love to get into there. They would love to get in there as administrator too. And so, it's one of those things that it's like I feel like they're forgetting about the individual workstations, and they're more after the cloud services.
Of course, that's where everything's living, your email and all of that. And you can get to it remotely a lot easier from overseas, and there's a lot to it. And go ahead.
Yeah, no, if you think about it, all the things that are in the cloud now, right? I mean, Salesforce is in the cloud. You have Paylocity is another cloud thing that's for there. You got the Microsoft 365. All these things are in the cloud, right? And they're like, you can attack them from anywhere. I mean, they're on the public internet. You can sit there and just try to hack them all day long, all night.
Yeah, of course. And then when you set up these Microsoft 365 tenants, the keys of the kingdom it's already open. You gotta lock it down.
Yeah. So, over the years, I mean, we met with our customers and we talk about business premium. We're still on board that everybody should have Microsoft 365 Business Premium because it comes with all these tools that allow us to lock down the tenant.
And we want to be able to show you, too, that we can lock it down. And we do these business reviews, and I think, like we're talking about, this single pane of glass will give ways for us to show you what we're doing for you and why that the management tool we're using and also the burden of Microsoft 365 management can be shown there, too. It's just a lot.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things. Microsoft is giving you the tools, but they're not helping you make it secure.
Yep, and we just got to help secure your business. So that's our goal here.
Yep. So I mean, if you have Microsoft, if you're managing your Microsoft 365 by yourself, I would recommend you to get some type of service provider to help you to make sure that it's secure. I think that I don't think that a lay person or just a person that's a business owner that started a business can go out there, create a tenant, buy the licenses, and understand what they need to do to make it so it's not hackable.
Well, and think of it this way too: is I got 5 employees, right? I just need to get them email. So me as a business owner, I'm just going to go buy them their email. And I just go look for, what am I going to look for? The most expensive? Am I going to buy business premium because it's $22 or whatever it is a month? Or am I just going to get, I just need email. Let's go with the $5 or $6 piece and then set it and forget it. I got my email. I'm done.
Yeah. And that's what happens when you get some of the registrars that are actually providing email. They're actually providing a federated email through Microsoft 365, right? So it's federated, it's there, but it's like you can't take advantage of the Microsoft 365 that you're buying. They just have it locked down just a couple things.
Yeah, and you're not going to know to have a conditional access policy so that nobody from outside the United States can get into your email, just in case you do click on something bad and a Russian asset gets a hold of you or there's just so many different things that you need to think about and do. And then also the leveraging of using 365. So say you did buy that business premium, now you can put your computers in it, and when people sign in, it's showing up in there, and you can manage it. If the computer gets stolen, you can wipe it remotely. There's just so many cool things that you can do that you really should reach out to a service provider, or even if you have done this already and you have questions, hit us down in those comments.
Yeah, and even like the impossible travel, we had one today, right? I was talked about it earlier. How can this guy be in Crystal Lake and also be in Ukraine at the same time? So
how do they even have internet in the Ukraine to hack anybody right now?
So how did this happen, right? So luckily we have tools in place. We knew immediately, and it got locked out, right? But again, I challenge right there, right? Is even though the account was locked, EDR locked it, but with conditional access, they shouldn't even been able to get in from there unless we have it open for some reason.
And I told you that one there we need to work on.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah, you did. Yeah, it's a new client,
and that's one of the things we found, and we need to work on because the thing was when I'm gonna get into it a little bit. Is that when we got the new client, they only had business standard licenses.
Absolutely.
So we couldn't leverage the conditional access policy, but we did start putting premium licensing in, so we were allowed to do that. So now it's time, and we actually did institute that today for them.
And the thing, and that goes into too the managed services. We're doing managed services. We're getting new clients all the time, and sometimes we ask for a setup charge or an onboarding fee, and because we're finding that a lot of the people that we're taking over, right, don't have any security like this customer, right? The provider that was there before is not doing anything for them. Mm-hmm. So you get into it, and we have all these hours just working on getting them a baseline that makes them secure.
And fixes them, yep.
Yeah.
This is totally not Microsoft 365 related, but Tony, didn't you recently go visit a potential client and they had a little something open on the internet?
Oh, yeah. I was there today. So a potential new client, I go there and they asked me to do a security assessment, network assessment, and they gave me their passwords. I had a password to firewall, 365, and the primary domain controller. And as I'm doing my scan, I get into their firewall and I look, and they have RDP open to the internet. So it's it's painful.
That's the big no-no, right? We've talked about it before. Remote desktops from the internet.
But they're tricking them. It's on port 520.
Oh yeah, you're fine then. Yeah, that'll work. Like what I say earlier, security through obscurity is the best way to go.
Yeah.
Instead of port 3389, they use 520.
Yeah, they use a different port. Like we're not going to be able to figure that out.
Yeah, or the attacker won't.
Yeah. So port scans, in the past, ports were a way to figure out stuff, but these days, any port you put on there, they can determine what type of traffic it's going to take.
Yeah, and we'll prove that here in the future with one of our podcasts, and we'll do it live. We'll get attacked live. I'll show you how quick it happens.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff that's going to come up with that.
Yep. So going back to Microsoft 365, it's a beast. It's a burden. If you guys are setting up your own 365 out there, good on you. But if you have any questions, let us know. That's my tip of the week.
Yeah, and I would absolutely say, we are willing to help people. Not everybody has to be a customer. I mean, if you have any Microsoft 365 questions or any questions in general, you can leave a comment. We're not going to, put you on a call list to try to sell to you. We'll answer your questions, and we're not going to charge you. You just have to ask the questions. We'd love to be able to talk about it in future podcasts.
It will help you with licensing. Are you paying that extra 5% right now? Go back a few episodes. We talked all about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Save yourself some money.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, take us home.
Yep, that's all I have. So hopefully I want to thank everybody for joining us, and hope to see you at the next podcast next week. Sorry.
We'll see you next week where we talk a little bit about what's driving IT cost up. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Unique Computing Solutions. Your IT challenges solved.